Hello everybody, Mannix here. Going to be doing a quick knife review of the Lightning OTF. This happens to be the plain edge drop point satin finish blade with the orange handle right here. There's a lot of different varieties. You can find these online on a handful of websites, but I'm going to get these specs out of the way to begin. The MSRP of these is $69.95, but you can get them for about $30, $35 depending on where you go. Overall length of 8 inches on the nose, the blade length is 3.25 inches, its thickness is 0.11 inches. The blade is 440C stainless, handle length 4.75 inches, the thickness of the handle 0.5 inches, weighs 3.8 ounces, but I'm going to double check that with my scale real quick. It is what I would call tip-up carry with this pocket clip right here. It's not swappable to the other side, not that that matters I don't think, because it's completely ambidextrous otherwise, as you can see. I call this tip-up carry. Technically the tip is actually tip down because the tip's right here. This would be tip down carry, but it is oriented the same way a tip up carry manual folder would be, if that makes any sense, because you pull it out and then open it up in that orientation instead of grabbing it from the pivot, rotating it in your hand, and then opening it up. So I'm going to call it tip up carry, even though technically the tip is down when it's in your pocket. But it's a dual action automatic out the front knife OTF. Dual action meaning not only it goes out with the switch, but you can also suck it right back in with that spring right there. Very cool. You will play with this all day and night if you get one of these things, if you're a knife fondler anyway. Aluminum handle, sorry if I didn't mention that yet. I think it's powdered aluminum they call it. We have sort of some texturing right here. Yes, I know it's the orange handle with an orange background. It's kind of camouflaging in there. Sorry, I don't have any other backgrounds at the moment. I like the sort of serrations they have all over the sides of the knife. Just let you get a good look at that real quick. Yeah. I like it's not like grippy, but it's not slippery either. It's like the perfect amount of grip, I think, for an aluminum handle anyway. Had this knife for years. The finish is still on there. I don't think it's going to rub off anytime soon because it's powdered aluminum. The switch right here, I guess I'll call it the switch. Yeah, it's really, really grippy. You can see the serrations on there on both sides for pulling it back as well as pushing it out. Works every single time. So yeah, it's very grippy. It's not slippery. Cheap. That's the hugest selling point for this knife, is the fact that it's a very affordable, good, double action or dual action OTF. Now, what is its quality though? Is that some people argue, oh, those Lightning OTFs, those things are toys, man. Absolutely not. These are not toys. These are very functional knives. Not as functional as other knives, even in the $30 range, because there's some blade slop there, and the blade steel's not the best. It will dull on you. Not quite as bad as like M-Tech's, like really cheap stuff, but it's not quite up to par with anything Spyderco puts out at the same price point, or Cold Steel, or CRKT, Kershaw. I would say it's just a little bit cheaper than that, but I've used this for work quite a bit. Cutting up cardboard, opening packages, the typical knife stuff, occasionally cutting zip ties open, and yeah, it works fine. Even with that blade slop right there, it doesn't really make that much of a difference. It still gets the job done. And by the way, the movement is not because it's cheap. There is some up and down right there, but pretty much all OTFs have to have some kind of slop because that's just the way the action works. Otherwise it would not work very well, or at all. I don't really understand automatic knives that well, as you can probably tell by this video, but from what I do understand, there has to be a little bit of movement in the blade right there, or else it just won't work properly. So that's okay. Carries really nicely. Love this simple pocket clip. I think it's stonewashed, it looks like, as you can see there. I like the pocket clip, really simple, never had any problems with it. The fact that there's 2 screws there helps so it doesn't, rotate on you, so yeah, good, I guess. I don't know why they would only put 1 screw on there, but I don't even know why I brought that up, but it's a very good pocket clip. I like how simple, it's almost like a lightsaber. I don't know, lightsabers are more cylindrical, this is rectangular, but I really like the way it looks. It's really simple. Here we have a slight angle right here. I like the trapezoid shape we have going up here. It's very simple, but I like it. Very simple, very functional. Yeah, so for $30, you really can't go wrong. It's very fun. It's a very fun knife, but it is not a toy. It is still a knife. Do not mistake it for toys. Some people don't like the Lightning OTFs for that reason, but it's a very affordable OTF, and it is a functioning blade. You can also get these in the dagger shapes, they call them. Back when I got this years and years ago, these have been out for a long time, but the dagger shapes are relatively new. I believe those are double-edged. That's cool. Double-edged folders are really cool, but you usually don't see them very often because, well, most folders of the spine, or the other edge in that case, would be exposed to the handle, and you would cut yourself all the time with it, and that's a terrible idea. But with a knife where the blade goes completely flush into the handle and is not of any danger to anyone when it's not exposed, that's a great idea to get a double-edged blade, so I might pick one of those up one of these days. But this is the drop point. They also have these available in Tonto, and you get these partially serrated. and I do not like serrations on them, but that's okay. So yeah, that's it. Very affordable, very functional knife for the money. I'm not quite as functional as far as the blade goes and like how, you know, the lockup and such for the price point, because there's plenty of other $30 knives that will defeat this knife in that case, but they are not automatics, and they're not dual action automatics. That's really cool. Any kind of knife that deploys fast, you always have to manually cock it back in, but with double action, that's not the case. It's just really cool how you can go back and forth automatically. It's just cool. Certainly a functional knife at the end of the day. Lots of different colors you can get these in, different blade shapes, like I said, so pick your poison. Lightning OTFs are a good, affordable double OTF winner, in my book. Mannix out.